Okay, it's been a really long time since I've recorded a video. You've seen me enough on Skype now that I have gotten over the initial embarrassment about having my face appear on these videos. So here I am in all my, or lack of glory. I just finished work. I actually left my tie on for the video because, you know, that makes such a difference. I look so much more professional and regal and imperial and all that kind of cool stuff that I guess I'm supposedly trying to look like. But anyway, I'm recording a video because I'm not sure which way your decision is going to lie, but you're probably going to be back at Kettering for a little while, and since it's MacGyver Central, I wanted to riddle you this. My sister-in-law Tracy got this coffee maker for, well, my brother and I bought her this coffee maker for Christmas. I think it's called a Krieger or Kruger or some sort of weird thing. But it has these little canisters of coffee. This isn't coffee, obviously, but these little canisters of coffee about this big in a plastic container with a foil lid. And you just lift up the thing, pop the canister in, pull it down, hit the button, and wow, I've got sort of a weird giant hands bigger than my head. Ah, I'm squishing my head. Yeah, it's been a long day. Coffee. You just drop the coffee into the thing, pull it down. It punctures the top and the bottom like that. That's puncturing top and bottom because they're off center. They're not lining up like that. They are off kilter. So that was actually an accurate representation of that. But you pull it down, hit the button, and it makes a cup of coffee. And I just love the thing. Tracy, I think, likes it, but I don't think she likes it the way I like it. I drank more coffee while I was home than I would usually do, and I just like making the coffee, and I thought the whole concept was cool. And I really, if I ever move back to the States, or when I move back to the States, I'm going to get myself one of those, like, pretty much as soon as I set up shop anywhere. I want to have one of those, and I'll probably be even more wired than usual because I'll be drinking coffee constantly because I'll just be like, oh, another cup, wait, coffee! And so there, well, oh, wow, the eye-widening thing, just, I'm going to have to remember not to do that. It's like I'm a cartoon character. I got the eyebrows going, and I can, like a Muppet or something. I can only do one. I can't do them both. Anyway, so yeah, it's been a long day, and so I'm a little frazzled and a little odd. So anyway, so we got this coffee maker, and I just love it because it's instant coffee. It's not instant coffee. It's fresh brewed coffee instantly or nearly instantly. You put the container in, push the button, and it starts coming out, and you have within 30 seconds you have a fresh, hot, freshly brewed cup of coffee that doesn't taste like instant coffee. It's real, honest to goodness, good coffee. And I just love it. And Bob, my boss, saw one and he was thinking of buying one. So he talked to me about it today. And I found myself getting really excited while I was talking about it to him and describing it to him and telling him why he should get it and he should go ahead and get it and don't worry about the price. And I realized the only thing I think that could make me more excited than this instant coffee dispenser thing is if they had an instant bacon dispenser. And so I spent the day trying to figure out how you would make an instant bacon dispenser. Now, the thing is, the bacon has to come out hot, and microwaved bacon and the pre-packaged bacon doesn't quite work. And it's not this because it doesn't have the same flavor, doesn't have the same taste. And the whole thing about this coffee maker is that it's in the time of instant, but it tastes like real brewed coffee. And so what I would need from the bacon dispenser is it would have to be the taste of freshly grilled or freshly cooked bacon in the time of microwaving it, so 30 seconds to a minute. So I was trying to plan out how this could be done. And I want it to be very similar to the coffee maker in that the units of bacon should be self-contained and very clean, like covered in plastic, and I'm imagining like a sheet of bacon strips in some sort of puncturable or sliceable container. And so like maybe a thin single-serving tray with maybe 4 slices of bacon, and you drop it in the top like a toaster, I'm imagining. And then, of course, it has to do some sort of opening it up and grabbing the bacon thing. And I'm imagining you can have sort of like the George Foreman grill, like 2 things that come together and squeeze the bacon. And I don't know what temperature being seared from both sides would cook the bacon in like a minute to maybe say 90 seconds at most. So we'd have to slap it, seal it, cook it to your desired level of doneness, and there'd have to be a little dial to have chewy bacon or have crispy bacon. But it would have to be even at the top setting that it doesn't actually burn the bacon, and so it would have to have a heat sensor and a timer. That would not a timer. It'd have to have a heat sensor and a cutoff switch that would have to detect the temperature, the internal temperature of the bacon. Now, rice cookers here in Korea have that feature already. They have, the reason they work is they apply the high temperature to the pot until the pot itself reaches a certain temperature. So the rice cooker is a vat of, it's a metal pot. I teach English. It's a metal pot that you put the uncooked rice and the water in. And so you've got the uncooked rice sitting on the bottom, and you've got maybe 2 inches or 5 centimeters of water on top of it. And you put it in, you seal the top, you push the button, and when you push the button, the rice cooker, the heating element heats up to, I don't know, probably 200, 300 degrees Celsius, 250 degrees Celsius, something like that. It heats up very hot. And this heats the water and the rice. And of course the water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius, and so it's not going to go much above 100 degrees Celsius because there's no seal. It's not a steam pressure cooker. As long as the water is there, the pot is going to maintain a temperature of 100 degrees. And so it keeps adding the high heat, 300 degrees or 250 or whatever it is. I haven't measured it, so maybe you have to, reverse engineer, take one of those apart. But it heats it until the pot goes just past 100, which would be the point when the water has been absorbed and the water has boiled off, and so all you have left is rice, and the rice is beginning to increase in temperature, at which point the heating element cuts off immediately, and so it still stays warm, but it doesn't burn on the bottom. And so you'd have to have some sort of sensor like that for the bacon, and maybe this only serves thick sliced bacon, for example. Maybe there's a little metal sensor in each strip of bacon that is connected to the top of the container, and so when you drop it in, the bacon's there and it cooks, and then it gets pulled off of the little internal sensor that senses when the internal temperature of the bacon has exceeded a certain point, which would indicate that the fat has rendered off and that the bacon meat is beginning to char. So I'm not sure. I'm not an engineer. I'm not sure how to do this. I'm just giving you the user specs. The things that I expect of it, and then I'm hoping that you or someone at your table of geniuses can figure out how to make a bacon dispenser. Now, as perhaps the originator of this idea, I would like, some sort of a little something, like I'm thinking maybe I get one of the first prototypes, and maybe I get, a discount on all the bacon I'd be buying. Maybe you recommend me to a good heart surgeon so that when I, have all the clogging because I'm eating bacon at the touch of a finger, something like that, a little something. But I'm not sure. Anyway, so I'm thinking bacon dispenser. Yes, I think that's going to be the next big thing. Or should be the next big thing. And I want in on it, and I want one, please. So, please, oh genius daughter mine, figure out how to make a bacon dispenser. Something, and it has to be self-cleaning too. Because, making bacon, you can make that in a pan. You don't need a gadget to make bacon. But if you could just drop the bacon in and have it come out to the desired doneness, and the grease renders off into some sort of container that you can easily discard, or maybe it gets sealed into another container that goes to the recycle, so it can be made into biofuel. So it could be like this whole green tie-in that it takes the waste, and then maybe the plastic packaging is also a bioplastic that can also be made into biodiesel, and so we'd have this whole little like grease bucket pocket thing that could be disposable and recycled, and that's another direction to take that in. But the most important thing is pressing the button and getting crispy fresh bacon in a minute without having to cook it yourself, just pushing bacon. So yeah, I would like a bacon dispenser. Can you work on that for me, please? Anyway, that was something I thought of. Maybe not a good thing I thought of, but it was something I thought of. The only way I could be happier than having the instant coffee dispenser would be to have the instant bacon dispenser, which is, at that point, I don't need the Star Trek food maker thingy, the instant thing, Earl Grey, hot, and then have it come out like that. If you're a geek, Star Trek, I hope, unless you're a Star Wars person and hate Star Trek. But yeah, the replicator, that's what they call it. So I don't need a replicator because all I'd be ever asking it for are coffee and bacon. So if I've got the instant coffee and the instant bacon, it's a freaking replicator. So there you go. So with all of the MacGyvers you go to school with, perhaps someone, or perhaps as a collaborative endeavor, and if you do that as a group project, I guarantee if it works, your professor will give you an A. Absolutely, you'll ace the class. Any professor, ask any professor. If we invented a bacon dispenser, push a button, get crispy bacon within a minute, they'd tell you instant A. Trust me. Anyway, I love you, Cheyenne. I recorded this because I was thinking of you, and I thought you might find what I was thinking about humorous. I hope it was true. Anyway, I love you, and have a good night. Work on that for me. I've got to do my angry face. Bacon.